Live. There we go. Okay, I was off by a couple of seconds.
Couple of
I
seconds.
was
Couple
close.
of
I was so
seconds. No, you were
close.
off. I was disappointed. What is going on, everybody? Frankie here for the Bakersfield Gentlemen with my brother Miguel here at Calibers Lounge in Bakersfield, California, on a day that's starting to warm up quite a bit. Um, but I was expecting this. I mean, we can't live in those spring weather the entire year, which would be great. You know, and it's been fantastic because like I've told Miguel, uh, usually Texas Premier Weekend is on the first weekend of May, and once we get back, we're blaring that AC because it's just too dang hot. Fortunately, haven't had to rely on the AC too much here, and we're well into June.
I was gonna say, even next week, I just looked again, and the weather dips back down into the 80s. Maybe it's high 80s, but still, it's been unbelievably pleasant
Hmm.
and a surprise and a gift, honestly. So I hope the same is true in your guys' area, wherever you're watching from. I hope you're having a great start to your week, and I hope you will be able to tune in with us for the entirety of today's episode because we have an awesome guest on. We got family on right now,
Hmm.
and before we get into it too much, I'll just do our usuals. Thank you to our sponsors here in those corners right there, Artista Cigars and Cigar Heritage Festival. Be sure to check out the new website. They have everything running now,
Hmm.
including links to the three stores. So you're not going to want to miss that. John, Jeff, Mike, Archie, everybody else watching, thank you so much for joining us. Jeff, what do you call it? Good afternoon and epic weather. Absolutely.
I'm happy with weather as well. You know, it's not too hot.
Not too crazy.
It's very pleasant, so I can't complain. You step outside like around 7, 8 o'clock at night. It's nice and cool. You know, just be outside, have a cigar, whatever. I do want to give my condolences to all of our Texas Fragmer brothers and sisters over in Texas, in Georgia. Apparently, they're getting up there in the numbers. They're in the triple digits soon. So, uh, obviously, I feel bad for them.
Is what it is. All right, guys. But without further ado, you ready for this?
Just real quick, also, Tim, I did see you got your surprise tattoo. That was awesome, man. I don't know if I'd ever be able to do that. I don't have the courage to do that or not, but that was awesome. Glad you guys had a fantastic anniversary weekend over in Vegas. I hope it was um, something you recovered from pretty quickly.
I hope you had a good time, brother. Are you ready
Yep,
for this?
I'm ready.
All right, finish stuff. Bring us home.
Oh, okay. So you guys, without further ado, owner of GTO Cigars, and our uncle, like we like to say, Dr. Oscar Rodriguez.
All right, bringing them on right now. There we go.
Ok, voy para allá. Si yo espera que usted entre. Dale.
Oh, always
Dale.
working. You can say it. Always working right there.
Ah, yeah, hey guys, I'm always up to something. Yeah, I was in the middle of the road here, so I said, let me go back into the farm.
Smart, smart. Sir, it's good to see you. How have you been?
No, no, no. Hey, it's been a whirlwind. Down here, we had we had a couple of our elders pass away. So I had to come down here and take care of all that hard work that we got to do over there. Um, over here now that I'm here, and then let me see if I can show you guys. Let me park.
Okay.
But it's always good to see my family over there in Cali.
Mm,
Let me get out of this car.
all righty, all righty.
Oh, see
No,
over here we have the. So here, if you come onto the farm, you're gonna get a nice mule. So we got we are they're parked behind me over here.
And where in the DR is this?
So we're in Santiago. We're right in the Valle del Cibao, which is the Cibao is for us is like saying like the northern country. So it's more of what's more so what we consider country. The civilization is more further down.
Hmm.
All of us up here are farmers. It's a little mountainousy, because to my north, all the way over there behind me. So those mountain ranges behind me are about 4,000 feet above sea level,
wow.
and right on my west side, I have another range that's about 3,000 feet above sea level. So we're nestled in this valley, and the valley we've been in here for over 250 years. This is probably the best growing region in the world, actually, for tobaccos. We've done a lot of studies of looking back and forth. to seeing who has the, checking the quality of the tobacco. And for us, this soil here, it's better than Vuelta Abajo over on the west coast of Cuba, where my grandfather and father was born.
Wow.
Um, but now we're back here on their well, my grandfather's father started here in the Dominican Republic, so we're back on the homeland, just doing it as best we can.
That is
100%.
fantastic. That is absolutely so. If you can give us a ballpark number about how much tobacco do you guys produce every year?
Oof, easily, oof, a lot. We got 400 acres.
Oh,
So like this is I would say 70% of our business is actually growing tobacco. The other 30%, 60%. The other 10% is raising the cattle. We have 50 chicken coops. We use the cattle and the chicken for our fertilizer. We're a 100% organic production family. We don't mess with chemicals. I endorse that as a physician, because if I'm going to go ahead and tell anybody that this is okay for you to do, it's got to be chemical free.
hmm.
Uh, Not to say that anybody else is doing anything they're not supposed to, but this it's it's uh, it's knowledge that other companies do use fertilizers that are, with chemicals and even pesticides. I don't use pesticides, and people say, "Wow, why don't you do that?" And I was like, "Because I smoke them, and I'm important. I'm one of the leaders of this family. There's a lot of us, and I really care about what people put in their lungs. I really do."
Absolutely, absolutely. So before we go any further, today I am smoking the Corona 10-year GTO. I believe it's the anniversary.
Yes. That's actually, yes, definitely. That's my grandfather's blend that he created back in 1942 in Vuelta Abajo. Uh, that one's available in Maduro, Corojo, and Connecticut. It's a fantastic smoke. We use an old Indian growing technique of using uh, the tobaccos that are on the bottom, the volado. We age it, ferment it for about 5 years, and then that's like the hallmark of that blend. We call it andullo. So if you ever get into uh, researching a little bit of what andullo is, it's a spectacular tobacco, an excellent use of the product. We don't waste anything. For us, every part of our tobacco production is important. So, and right now we're only using the minimum age product is 8 years for us. So 8 to 10 years. That tobacco there is my grandfather. At 10-year age, I don't know if you're getting like those nice notes of cayenne, coffee, and cocoa. Uh,
Definitely the coffee. Definitely the coffee.
you get like a nice little sizzle. The cigar, like it's just alive. A lot of cigars to me disappoint me. I divide the cigar into three thirds, and
Hmm.
the first third is fantastic. The second third, because it grows, it's not gonna hit you in your face. It just develops. What we do is warm the palate. We believe in a more subtle technique of smoking. We like to go slow, let you enjoy, let warm up the palate, bring in more flavors. There's about 5 to 6 excellent notes in that cigar. It gets better in the second half. More of your sugars come through, and then on the final third is where it starts to talk to you. Like that's where other cigars are like shutting down, and people like wondering how far they can toss that nub.
I like it. I like it.
Now we do have a question here for you, Mike. If you want to bring that up on screen.
Sure. Let's go with. We got a couple of questions actually. I'm gonna start with the first one Archie asked right here,
Okay.
and it's just a basic one about the area. What's the usual temperature and humidity levels in the area like? Is it just normal stuff?
Down here, it's normally, the 90-90 rule is just about, I call it 90 squared. It's always about 90 degrees Fahrenheit. We're right on like a little bit right above the equator here, and the 90% humidity. So a little bit different feel on the puros. They're going to be softer, uh, going to burn a little slower because there's definitely a lot of moisture here. For us to be able to age our tobaccos, we have to actually air condition
Oh
the
wow.
the space. We have to bring it down to about 70. So
Oh
we have to,
wow.
so that's. It's definitely a tedious process.
I didn't even think about that. That's
Yeah.
impressive. That's some dedication right there.
Definitely. Oh yeah, no, a lot of hard work. Electricity isn't cheap, guys.
Never, never. And then John asks, I think we went over this a second ago. I'm sorry, but just in case he missed it, he was looking at the profile for Frankie's cigar, the binder and whatnot, and wrapper binder fillers and whatnot.
On the one that you're smoking, the so all of those tobaccos, the we use our own broadleaf that we age for 10 years on that. It's very similar in many ways to the San Andrea. It's definitely it's our version. It grows in the lower valley. Beautiful broadleaf on that. The binder, they're all proprietary. I normally don't like go in. I know, and people get upset, but this is what I tell guys: listen, we're one of the few factories that actually we grow our own stuff. So I'm not shopping tobacco. Our cigars taste the same today as they did in 1942, and it's because we do everything the painstaking, hard, hand labored, the hard way every single day. We love it. It's what we do. Like it's old school, but all of that comes from my farm. The fillers. We grow 6 different kinds of tobacco here, and I do sell piloto, but I sell a tobacco's when you harvest, they're graded differently. So we grade the best A. There's variations B, C, D is for pipe. So if you can imagine that D is terrible because it goes to pipe, and I'm not shaming the pipe people. It's just
No,
it's not a tobacco that it lends itself to be used in any kind of production. It's not, but B, a little bit more veinage, a little bit more discoloration, a little bit more irregularities in the distribution left and right. C, definitely there's some irregularities. So we sell that at the market. So B and C goes. We keep A prime. Um, but like the content, the way we put it together, that's always been a family secret.
Okay.
nothing
Okay.
wrong with that. And then
And
real quick,
Anthony Janis says hello,
and he
and he says
also,
that the Atlanta 33 is his favorite.
which is what I am
Oh my god.
smoking right now. I'm loving it.
Oh, excellent. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Also, the 33. That's the. I had to wait, because I took over the company 14 years ago. So I have a little bit more of a little different method to our madness. So I found I was on one of my excursions. It takes about if you're going to go from one end to the other end of the farm on mule. I ride a mule. I don't mess around with horses. I'm kind of old school. I like slow.
Hmm.
I like a slow roll, and I can actually sit backwards on my horse and lean on him, and on my horse, on my mule. And then so I was traveling. It's about 3 moons. It takes a long time to get to the other side. So like on the far end, I found a nice plateau right at about 2,800 feet above sea level. So this area, about 50 acres, I decided, hey, you know what? We don't need to grow coffee on flat land. I didn't even know we had it up there. So one of my uncles was like, well, we could build a couple of homes up here and we could watch the valley from up there. And I was like, no, 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 no. We don't. We're not going to depreciate growing land. In our land, man, you could throw a sneaker and something's going to grow off that
Yeah.
sneaker. That's how good the stuff is over here. So I said, no, no, no. We'll put the same seeds that we grow up here, and let's see what it does. So shit. At the 10-year mark, I was tasting because I make cheroots when I taste the tobacco, and it was amazing. I was like, wow, this doesn't taste like nothing Dominican, anything we've ever put out before. So I was inspired to create a really really nice blend. And living in Atlanta is where if it hit me that because the blend it was great, but it was missing something. And until I found one day that I was walking on this, we have a street that we all like walk on Sundays. There's a lot of oak trees on there, and a couple of leaves hit me. So I believe in God. I believe in many things that He does for us, and I was asking for some kind of an answer, and I got it. Oak leaves hit my face. Ta, 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 ta. I was like, oh, and I caught these leaves. While I was smoking the cigar, the blend, I actually lit the oak leaf on fire, and the smell that I got off of it, I said, damn, guys, I said, this is what it needs, oak. And then talking to some more of the people that live in Atlanta, they a gentleman that's very knowledgeable in the in agriculture there told me, yo, guy, there's 33 different kinds of species of oak trees in Georgia. So I was like, oh my god, and I said, this is the name. I'm gonna call it 33 Oaks, and and yeah, I'm gonna age these things in oak barrel. So I got with a bourbon company that gave us about 156 barrels, and we put all the blends in them, and we aged a lot of it 2 years. I would say 50% of it went an extra 1 year because I did want to see what was the difference if time does change.
Hmm.
But I noticed that 2 years is actually the most you would need to age a tobacco leaf in an oak barrel to get the most out of the flavor. So there's no need to spend any more time. So somebody says, "Oh, I spent 15 years." To me, it's a waste of time. Uh,
That
the
makes sense.
12 years,
That
the 12
most.
years was
Oh,
yeah,
sorry, keep going. Sorry, sorry.
definitely. And that was it. Like I'm always doing more, testing. Like, oh, should I go 5 years? What's the difference between? Well, there's a big difference between 5 year age tobacco and 8 year, and
Hmm.
definitely something different between the 10 year. But I found that past 10, there's no difference because I've aged leaf through regular uh, methods 15, and I found no difference. So I stopped doing anything past 10. But in the barrel with this 33 oaks, which is insane, that is, I fell in love with that blend. I was like, man, this is going to be for me a game changer because Dominicans don't taste like this.
I like that. I like that a lot, and it
Yeah.
is smoking wonderfully amazing right now. You can taste that extra effort to it, and I have to agree with Anthony. This might I don't know if I could pick a favorite right now. That might be difficult, but this is one of my favorites. So this Atlanta is absolutely phenomenal stuff, brother.
I got to be
Thanks,
honest. I
guys.
don't know what it is about it, but for me, since the first time we smoked it, the anesthesia has been my favorite,
Oh, that's true too. That's really good.
That's an,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
that's
what I
another.
go back to quite a bit.
yeah.
I love the anesthesia. Like every cigar that we blend has a story to tell, and I always tell people prepare yourself for a wonderful journey. If you're patient, it's going to talk to you. Like so. The difference between us and many cigars, and I think all cigars are great. I've never said anyone was bad. It's just the story. Ours, each one is to me is beautiful, and they all have a home. I smoke 10 a day. I'm up and down all around. I'm quality control. I guess that's a blessing, and it's on being the blender for the house is great, but I enjoy every single one that we make, even our hypnotics, the sweet tips. I smoke those because we actually use real sugar on our heads. That's not imitation anything. An organic cigar, mild, long leaf, and I'm just trying to maintain purity and still deliver a quality, great smoke at a great value. That's what I'm trying to do by keeping the brand under me and not making it for other premium companies.
Yeah,
Absolutely
definitely.
agree with that.
We have another question here. How much rain do you guys get there usually? And
How much do you need?
yeah, how
Uh,
much do you need for the crops? Do
yeah.
you get enough rain, or do you have some kind of a well or reservoir system?
We actually, thanks to we do get a plenty of rain. We are in a tropical rainforest, guys. We get a lot of goddamn rain. But the government did, thanks to old Trujillo, our dictator, a while ways back. He actually came over the mountain one time, and this is a true story. He saw the valley, and he said, this guy being the way he was a crazy dude. He just said, "Hey, I claim all this land in the name of the Dominican Republic." He took it from us. Actually, he tried to say that it was his. And then they even drew up some papers, which they really weren't legal, but it was like Biden saying, "I'm taking over Arkansas." And
Yeah,
so he did, and he sent it. So my grandfather, being as slick as he was, said, "I can't take this from this guy because this guy will have us murdered." So he told Trujillo. He said, "Hey, we need some kind of an aqueduct system that can corral all the water that comes off of these mountains, and just bring it over here." So he's like, definitely for our lands, of course. So he sent in the engineers, and we've been blessed with a wonderful aqueduct system that collects water from the mountains after it drains through the coffee and the cocoa all the way up there. It collects in these concrete two ways, and we actually control the gate. Me not being an agronomer, I didn't know that. And my cousins told me, "Hey, we need to wet the lower valley," and he goes, "Should I open up the dam? Because we have two big gates." And I said, "Sure, go ahead, let it rip." And we did. I opened it up and I flooded the valley, bro. So other farmers lost their crops down
Oh
there. It
no.
was a
Oh man.
yeah, so I had to uh, take care of all that, and I had to pay people's crops. It was pretty bad. But you know what? Now I know, and we trickle. I lay it down slowly.
Right,
Da, da,
right,
da, da.
right.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of responsibility right there. Like we have a couple of dams in our area because a lot of people might not know this, but most of the county that we live in was actually a big lake.
Hmm.
Tulare Lake was most of Kern County, and they dammed it up, they dried it up, and they started putting industry and some farming here, and we still do a lot of farming.
Yeah.
But those dams, that would be like if I don't know any like big families here in town. I guess the what's his name who owns all that land out past where Zuzu's lounges.
Frolic.
Yeah, if Mr. Frolic in our area had access to that dam and just decided he could have control of that, we we have an exact similar situation because if that dam is to be what's what I'm looking for, if they were to release it right now, we would lose a lot of stuff right there. That's a lot of responsibility. That's an
Hmm.
impressive thing to be in charge of.
Yeah, it's good. Well, a lot of people, and it's a blessing to be, the first in and all that, and we had it all done. But you got to, and it's respect. So I respect everyone. Every farmer to me has something to do, to give. I've got guys down there that are doing honeybees. They even have these seafood farms down there where they raise farm raised shrimp, farm raised catfish down here, which is the new things that are people are trying to do down here.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
and I messed that up, man. We had catfish everywhere, brother.
Nice, nice.
So we have another question here for you. It says, "What's the toughest part of the growing process from the beginning to the end? What is the hardest part? Getting the seeds in the ground, maintaining the plants, harvesting, the aging process, actual rolling, making new blends. What's the toughest part?"
That's a good question.
Man, every single part of what you just mentioned takes a lot of time. Um, and when you do it under the sun, you're like, I'll stand in the sun for you guys, so you guys can see some. This sun will melt your butt, bro. It's hot as hell down here. I'm glad that I don't have to do that part. Um, it, it's all difficult. It's from selecting the seeds. When we go through and select what seeds are the ones we're going to move forward with, selecting the plants that look the best. Um, it's a lot of work, guys. Moving them from pods to watching them grow. We grow them for 2 weeks, and we do a 50% elimination each time. So it is difficult, guys. It is very difficult. Hats off to everybody in our family that because everybody does what they do, and they just do it. No questions asked. They just love it. They train the next generation right behind them. Uh, it's good. Like just hard, just
Hmm.
hard, and very hot. So I'm happy that I'm in the office. I'm in the AC, and I don't complain about that. And I don't tell them how good it is on my end because I don't want these guys in my office. Like stay out.
Oh man, but no, that's very true though. Like some of the best things are done, and to do it the right way too. It's difficult. It's hard. It's hard work.
It's very hard work. It's very hard work, and you have to deal with big animals, the oxen, you name it. Tilling the ground, and sometimes a lot of when we come in after our second harvest, we always try to bring back to the soil. So planting corn and watching our corn grow, beautiful corn and shit. We have to till it right back into the ground, and then we'll grow soy, and then till the soy in, and then sometimes I'll even do peanuts. And then and we don't even get to enjoy that. We just till it all right back into the ground, and and so we're working different sections at one time. Some parts are being rehab. Some other areas are growing here. There's like 90 things going on at one time. Then you got people complaining on this end. Well, I didn't get a box. This box came broken. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, if you guys only knew.
Oh man, yeah, it's
So
true. People don't pay attention to that. All the difficulties that go in just to get that box to you. There's so much, so much.
and then real quick, so you basically just do crop rotation then, since you're growing different stuff different times, and you're saying you're
Yeah.
tilling it back into the soil. So is that obviously it's getting the nutrients back to where they need to be for the tobacco to grow? Does that also act like a fertilizer since all that stuff is in there and it decays and whatnot?
Oh, definitely. It does help. It does help because it brings us right back to the correct amount of nitrogen, manganese, magnesium, zinc. All those things are so important to deliver a healthy crop and to continue to use these same areas. Because it's the same areas we've been farming for 250 years. To keep that going, that it takes a lot.
100%,
Right,
100%.
right. And across your farm, do all these levels seem to be um, at the same numbers, or is different ones vary in areas, and that's where you grow a certain plant or certain
certain
tobacco?
plant Definitely certain tobaccos will thrive in different mineral content. So some areas are more shaded. Some areas have a better predisposition to deliver a higher quality product. So those areas we already pretty much have them like labeled. We know, and how much work we have to do. We'll do soil samples once we finish all the harvesting processes. We have, because a lot of my uncles and cousins are agronomer engineers trained that. Uh, they all finished all their trainings down there in Texas at that King's Ranch. So they have to do a specialty there before they can come out and work with us. And so we even send our family still does another type of training that we do in Italy for different kinds of harvesting and tobacco technique that we use there.
Oh
Wow. So
wow.
the learning never stops. It's always something.
Definitely, definitely. Hey, I learned something. That's why I tell people, "Oh, you're the master." I said, "Like I'm the master of nothing. I learn every day what not to do. Like on what to do. And even as a physician, there's new techniques, new medications, new outcomes, new kinds of people. Medicines affect all people, different. Female, male, whatever you come from. The different countries. You have to be willing to adapt to overcome, and be able to beat all this the nuances and have enough time to actually get the job done. Yeah, so patience. I don't know if any winemakers or any tobacco growers that don't understand patience. So, and that's why I tell people you gotta just be patient, and you'll see. But I guess that's why I get so worked up when I see people disrespecting tobacco, cigars, because I know that it's not just the famous 300 hands. I can attest that there's more than 300 people that are involved with the production of any one cigar. There's a lot of stuff that goes through.
Yeah, like you said, the people that are testing the soil. I mean, I didn't even think about those people being part of it. And that adds right there. And we have a
Definitely.
couple more questions here.
Oh, sure.
Uh, is too much rainwater bad for the plants during the growing process? And if it is, how do you guys deal with that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it really is. You could ask the guys over in Nicaragua after that hurricane. This stuff, they're not submersible, man. Like the tobacco is a weed, so it's definitely a different type of species. It's a weed. It can grow on its own. Pretty much built. God built it that way, so it'll rise 6, 7, 8 feet. If it the, when the flower is heavy, it will fold. It will bend and hit the ground. Pow! When it hits, it releases 2 to 3,000 seeds on its own. so it's capable of taking over a whole area. So it's important to maintain, those areas clean. But wet, too wet is not good for anything to have a solid base. The roots will be, you know, just whittled. So too soft, you won't get a sturdy plant.
So it's not like rice, can't grow it underwater.
No, 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 Ron, no.
No, no, no. What are you? Now you're talking crazy. Gosh,
Okay, and then the other question we had here is how many years in a row can you grow tobacco before you have to go through that crop rotation of growing the corn and the soy and all that other stuff?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not. I can't. I'm not going to speak and say that you can go more. For us, what we've seen, there's a lower quality of let's say the rendering becomes weaker in flavor after we get two harvests off of any plot, and then we go right into the three. It'll take about another year to come back after that. So you can get the two harvests done in 1 year, but then it's a year down. So to come back and do two more.
okay. So a year to year rotation kind of situation.
Yeah, I would say like every 2 years you're planting in the same area.
Not bad, not bad.
Okay.
And I also heard when we were talking in the beginning about the livestock in the area, especially the chicken part. Because I don't know, I've told this like forever ago. I used to own a chicken farm, egg farm here in Bakersfield. I had 500 chickens, and I always said if I wasn't doing what I do right now, I go right back to that. I heard that, and it was a big smile on my face right there because I don't know what it is. I love working with chickens. I loved being on a farm. It was hard work. Don't get me wrong, but it was good work. So I was like, I can get behind that.
Oh, that's great that you're in. Any man that's in touch with when a human gives back to the earth and uses it, that is so rewarding. This part of me is, I just love it. Like I'm out here on the upper part because this is the area where we mount the mules and the horse because I've got some quarter horses here, but I don't ride those. Um, I don't trust them. Don't trust, and I'm a big dude, so I really don't like putting my 300-pound ass on a fine horse. I'll ride a mule, but chickens. I love the chicken coops. We have 50 of them. We produce 4,500 chickens per coop every 45 days. So if you like chicken and you like frying, just bring everything you need to fry some chicken, and I promise you, you're gonna eat some good chicken because our chickens are fed naturally. There's no steroids. There is no. We don't give them nothing but nice, hardcore, regular, natural stuff. They eat good worms. They eat vegetation that we provide for them. That's it. And our birds never get any bigger than a 4.5 pound. So if you ever eat more than a 4.5 pound bird, you definitely got a problem, man. You're gonna grow an extra tit or a third eye. Something's gonna happen to you.
Yeah, it's so true. I think people, if you just look at the meat, the quality of the meat that you get from something fed naturally versus something that is factory grown, and I understand the need for a lot of food real quickly, but we can make a big difference to switch to a little more natural from time to time, and you can see the meat, literally look at it and see the difference in quality, and not just taste, but you could look with your eyes once you harvest a chicken that it's a big difference. It's 100% night and day difference. There's a quality that you just can't replicate without doing it naturally.
Right.
Definitely, definitely.
Real quick,
And
just want to say hello to Allison. Thank you for joining us.
the chickens we give them. The chickens we, for the most part, we give them away. We sell a lot of them, but most important is that they walk on a mesh screen, and what we need from them is their excrement. So we've got these oars on opposite ends, and it takes about six of us to run that oar from one end all the way down to the other end, and we scoop all that up, and that's what we feed we feed. Some of that goes to the cattle, but a lot of it is actually hand taken to each plant and put on the base of each tobacco
So smart. Nothing
plant.
wasted. That's so smart.
Hmm.
And then wait, we got some more. We got some more questions. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to. Archie, how much tequila do you buy for everyone after the last harvest for the crew? I think
Ah, nice.
talking
I will
about.
tell you the truth. If you really want a good an answer, I happen to love tequila. I am an añejo lover, but in Dominican there is no tequila. We do rum.
I was about to say, yeah, right. That's tequila. Tequila's in Mexico. That's a Mexico thing, but it's
Yeah.
delicious wherever you go. So
Very true.
No, for sure, for sure. Like here, I don't have any because we don't really get tequila. It's not really sold here. Here is more about rum, and for some reason in a third world country, it's more about blended Scotch. Single malt guy right here, so I don't really do a lot of the blended Scotches, but I do enjoy a wonderful rum. Anytime I can get my hands on them.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that though. Too, I think there's some amazing rums out there.
Hmm.
Blended Scotch too. Don't get me wrong, but that single, sometimes you just can't compete. Just can't be beat.
Something about like I just love some. I love units, So any barrel, single barrel, talk to me, man. If you got one, I want to go open it up with you. I love small batch, anything, Anybody that takes anything serious, I believe in what they do. I just don't believe in I don't believe in fantasies, man. And there's too many people. I don't shut people's dreams down, but I always tell them, I said, if it's not pure, if it's not real, don't waste my time. Don't waste other people's time because all you're doing is discrediting this beautiful art. And I find that I'm one of the people that because I'm an owner, a manufacturer, and I do make cigars. That if I can't keep this tradition going, I'm not worried so much about us today. The 3 million of us or 7 million of us that smoke is fine. I'm worried about the other 50 million that are going to come through in the next 30 years and continue this beautiful tradition, um, and respect it the way I do and some of us do.
100%.
Absolutely,
100%.
absolutely. So we have another question here. Uh, is there any new cigar that you're working on or that'll be coming out?
You know that the creative juices are always flowing. That there's always some kind of weird leaf that comes across. So definitely, I do have a see like right here. I'm standing next to a yucca plant, but I'm not gonna work with yucca. I'm not doing yucca, and I got some excellent plantations behind me. But if I see any variants, I'm interested in smoking it, and I want to see how I can use it. We do have a blend that will be out in January, because this year we released the 33, and I think that the with the 33, the anesthesia, we also have our patatu, the 8x60. We did do a reblend on the mandinga and the anesthesia. Painkiller is always there. Hypnotic is rocking. Um, Definitely something new in January. I do. There's always a nuance, and I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna bring it, and you can expect it's gonna be good. It's gonna be well made. It's gonna smoke nice. You're gonna get great smoke output, flavor, which is what I'm about. I'm not about strength. I tell guys all the time, if you're looking for strength, go smoke something else. Because I don't usually handle that way. If you're I say it flat out. If you're stuck on Ligero, you got a nicotine problem, which I can't fix. So so just go easy, go light, because this is only good in moderation, and it works. If you destroy your palate, then you'll become a patient, and I'd rather see you enjoying a cigar in front of me than walking around with an oxygen tank behind you.
Right.
And I take that very serious. 'Cause- and I see a lot of people that lose their ability to taste because they can't control themselves with these high octane cigars that people put out. Uh, Go easy on those, man. The full strength stuff, it wasn't. Those are meant to be smoked on occasion, very moderately. Like some people don't want to smoke them at night because they say it wakes them up, it keeps them up.
Hmm.
I believe that the only time you can really enjoy one of those is if your palate is well developed, or during the day, because you can't wake up in the morning and tell me you can taste the fine or the finer things in anything. It's almost impossible. We're not built that way. It takes time for
Hmm.
your palate. You wake up when you have a cup of coffee, and it's to open up the taste buds. It's to start waking up, and you can taste eggs, you can taste pepper, but there's a lot of finer things that you just won't be able to fine tune. Take it, but you could pick it up in the afternoon or in the evening. That's when go easy. If you go slow and you let your cigar rest, remember that I always tell people, if the head of the cigar is wet, don't put it in your mouth. When you feel it's wet, then you're going too fast. You're not slowing down your heart rate. You're not decreasing your blood pressure. Therefore, you are not reducing stress. So what the hell are you doing? Go get some weed, man. Don't waste your time on my stuff. Go do something else.
That's a really good point though too, because it should be an experience that is relaxing from the beginning to the end. There's no rush to it. There's no um, required rules, quote unquote. It's something that you should be almost like second nature. You shouldn't have to think about it. Just enjoy it. That's a
Well,
really
That,
well
good
put.
point. I
Well
never thought
put.
about that. Don't let it get wet, because then yeah, you're just chain smoking basically.
exactly. Yeah, that's the rule. To me, that the cigar rest was created for that purpose. Hey, let it put it down. Once you see it's dry, go get your 4 or 5 puffs on, and contemplate that smoke. Watch it. Watch those billows rise and the phantasmal shapes, and it's euphoric. When you're gonna go crazy, that's what makes it so beautiful. And then the conversation even better because you're actually talking. You ain't got a cigar in your mouth. You can do a lot. It's just we've been smoking all of our life since I was 12, and I've never seen any one of us, any member of my family, and you don't see the owners of any cigar company doing what people do on the street. I'm like, who are you imitating, man? Because if anything, follow us. We do it for life. Do it the way we do it, and you're gonna be successful. You can't. Here's one of the few things you can't make it your own. When because this is an art form. This is a tradition. If you're gonna change it, I tell these guys, then you're gonna have to create a whole new sport. So hey, relax, take it easy, man.
Right? Actually, speaking of other brands and whatnot, Archie has another one right here. Are there any other brands that you like to smoke from time to time besides your own?
Well, so that's where I fall in. That's my downfall. So honestly, brother, I don't pick up other people's cigars. I don't do that just because of I. If you can prove to me that your stuff is organic, I got you. But if I know that if for any reason I doubt that you're using any kind of Bayer product or some other bullshit in your land, then I don't want it in me. So I just smoke me because for me. I guarantee me that it's gonna be good every single time. I'm good with me, and then that's weird for people because they're like, "Oh, what do you compare yourself to?" I was like, "I've never compared my stuff to anything. We are exactly Tabacalera Dominicana Rodriguez, GTO, the name I gave it, and we've been the same for over 250 years. It's good enough for me. So and I tell everybody, hey, for the price point that I set on these things, for the aging, for the quality of smoke, the flavor, no aftertaste, you don't gotta scrape your tongue the next day. What are you asking for? I got you. Smoke. Hey, check them out, and you'll be happy. That's what I say.
Definitely.
I like that.
And
I
then
like that a lot.
Jeff says here it's interesting. He stopped smoking strong cigars at night because they gave him bad dreams. He says true story.
Huh.
That's very interesting.
It can it actually can do that, but like how far deep? I stopped smoking at 9 o'clock. Like once it's dark, I'll have a good cigar like 8 o'clock, 8 to 9. We're pretty much done. Then we start sipping on other stuff right now, and then we just relax.
Hmm.
Uh, but if it does that, then don't no definitely. Hey, that's why you got Corojo, you have Habano, you have Connecticut's that are still great at any time of the day. Because you can get a Connecticut that's full body. You can get a mild to medium. There's a medium plus. There's a gazillion ways to prepare it, and it
Hmm.
comes in all sorts. Like from other guys I've seen it. Like I make it. I got a mild one. It's called the Gold. I got a medium one. The casserole. I've got a medium plus. The in the 10 year that you're smoking, and then I got a full body in the 33. And it's still a Connecticut. So it's definitely something you can smoke any time of the day. And I appreciate those woody, those creamy, those cedar notes. A little bit of graham crackers. It's just amazing with different libations.
Oh, absolutely.
That
I
that
think
actually brings me to my next question. For people who may not have had GTO cigars before, if you were gonna recommend three or four, they're gonna have this on a Saturday to smoke cigars all day. What would you recommend them to start with, and what would you recommend them to finish with in that line?
Oh, excellent. My favorite cigar of the morning is actually the Gold Churchill. It's reminiscent of a blend that my grandfather made a long time ago, 1938 in Havana, Cuba. Very reminiscent of the famous Partagas Lusitania. One of my that was from Cuba. That was one that I got to smoke original box from my grandfather's collection. But when I released that blend, it came out so nice. So we call it the Gold Churchill. So that's a great morning. It starts off mild, will finish off medium. Then I'll do. I would recommend. I would stay right in the middle. I would go right to. You could do a painkiller, Corojo box press, and enjoy the just the nice notes of hickory, caramel, and a nice light spice. Maybe the anesthesia corojo.
Mm.
That's one that I would throw out there. Any line of the for because for the most pallets that are out there, which tend to smoke a more higher Richter scale cigar, so they can get a little bit of a little bit of intensity with flavor. That's the key for me. Flavor first, intensity second. And I find and the way I bundle the cigar because we actually don't bunch, we fold, which is a different technique. Uh, I actually found a way to hide the strength, so I can give you the strength. You'll feel it. It's just going to be in the undertone, which to me is a dynamic process it's scientifically done. You know, I did a lot of testing on how I placed the tobacco in the cigar to deliver to be able to do this. You know that you the strength is still under. It's not in your face. It's there though because it definitely you'll feel it. Um, the anesthesias, the La Cura with the broadleaf wrapper is super, really good. The La Cura, the anesthesias, and any one of my grandfather's Coronas. Between those three, I believe many people will find a home. It's just great cigars. And don't be afraid when you pick up my cigars. Yes, they're hard as a rock. They're hard as a rock. I don't know from anybody else, but you can pick mine hard as a rock. Poke a pinhole in the head, and you'll see it will still draw like a straw. There's a reason for that, and it's because of the way we elaborate the cigar, and that's definitely a testament to our ability to fold, not bunch. When you bunch, it's not like a K&N filter; it's just a mess. You know, there's turbulence, air is going everywhere. Sometimes it even goes back out the opposite way. Um, so you'll see, because I've seen people pick up my cigar, squeeze it, and they're like, "Oh, that's hard." They put it back. I go, I said, "No, man, here." I poke a little hole on it. I said, "Draw," and they go, "Oh my God, the draw is perfect." I go, "Did I say it was gonna be anything less?"
Boom! I like it. I like it. Oh, real quick for Archie. Is there anywhere you can find them in the Midwest or Chicago?
There are some stores in Chicago that has it. If you look on my website at GTO Dominican Cigars.com, there, if you'll go to Chicago, there are some stores there. Um, Off the top of my head right now, I can't remember where in Chicago, but we are acquiring a lot of new accounts. I think we've been opening like 5 accounts a day for the last 6 months. Open to the west side in Indiana, Idaho, um, Michigan. We just got a distributor up there. Uh, he's moving them really, really nice up there too. So I expect a gentle multiplication. You know, it's like I told you, we're steadily multiplying and coming soon to a town near you.
That's fantastic.
Like it. I like it a lot. Now we're talking about a new release in January. You know, I don't want you to go too much into detail since we're still a ways out, but for the process to get something new out, especially when you're thinking you want to make sure that quality is still there, something new, something fresh for the how long does it usually take you to decide on a new blend that you decide, yeah, this can go into production. We're gonna go with this.
For me, blending anything. So I'm 4 years behind the next production. 4 years. So every 4 years, I'm coming up with something, I'm literally 4 years away. So what's coming out in January was something that I came up with 4 years ago. But what I do is every month we look at it again, we're checking the quality of the tobacco, looking at, well, can I increase this, can I give it a little bit of this, can I give it more salt, can I take away salt, well, how's this burning, how's it working, sometimes some blends are just don't work, and
Right.
the cigar it won't combust. So that perfect ratio of volado, seco, ligero, and viso, it's got to be right for everything to work. And then you got to throw in all and if you're sourcing tobacco, thank God I don't have to. But if you're sourcing, you really want quality producers. Not, I see a lot of guys, and I cringe when I see companies because I know a lot of people don't know who I am when I'm in environments, and I can hear them talking like, "Oh, we went down to this guy and we bought like 5 pounds of tobacco, or I bought 100 pounds of this tobacco." Man, that sucks, man, because that stuff will never taste the same again. And I'm not a one and done kind of guy, so I like keeping a rotation. I like different things, but I, consistency is the most important. And that's what I guess everybody on the island. It's a testament that there's a lot of factories here in the Dominican Republic, but all of the rollers that work for everybody else, guess where they smoke? They smoke in
Hmm.
my house. So the it just tells me that we're doing something right because they can smoke their stuff all day long, but here they come to mine and they're just like, man, can we smoke that again? Wow, and that to me means everything. Not, not that I made the top 10 of aficionado or all these uh, magazines that really don't mean anything to me. I really, I tell people that, a lot of these ratings and things are not. It's based on just what the people think from that group or what you paid to play or whatever the hell you did. I told them like this: come down to my factory, come down to the island, and I'll let you plant. I'll let you work the land with me, uh, and we can roll some cigars together, and you'll taste quality from the get. This is original, good stuff, just good stuff, just
And
nice.
another thing about um like the rankings and whatnot, and this we fall into this as well, is everyone's going to be different because everyone has a different palate. So just
That
because
too.
we gave a cigar number one, it's because it fit our palates the way we liked it. Doesn't mean it's going to fit everybody's palate that same way. So that's another thing for people to consider when they're looking at aficionado or cigar snob or whoever's list, our list, anybody's list. But a question for you: you mentioned you guys don't outsource your tobacco; everything is from your own farms. And there's a lot of people that do outsource tobacco, or people's lines are solely based on other people's tobacco. When the pandemic happened, since you guys do farm all your own stuff, did it affect you as much as other people?
No, thank God that because we're in the valley, we've been protected from all kinds of storms, and we're pretty far away from everybody. We're deep in the valley. A lot of people won't take the long drive. It's about a good 25, 30 minutes from the main road all the way in, and a lot of us live on the farm. So me being the doctor that I am, I made sure that we're self-sustained.
Nice.
We have our own beef. We kill our own cattle. We do our own thing. So we pretty much got us, but we were good during the whole season. Our production remained the same, and I lost no family members. I actually lost three uncles about 3 months ago, and it was due to um, people that came and visited us that were infected and didn't tell us.
Ah,
Hmm.
jeez.
So I let the contagion in. It was bad, but those guys were, and I'm amazed that they went down because like these guys' diets are so well balanced. Like they don't eat preservatives. We eat natural stuff. Our everything we eat is grown here on the farm.
That's got to be a
So
big plus. That's amazing.
well, our lifespan, man, the regular Rodriguez lives. We haven't lost anybody before 90, and they mostly pass away between 103 and 110.
Wow,
Um, that's just good farm living, guys.
wow, that is amazing.
That's a testament right there. Yeah.
We do have another question here. How many blends? Um, oh, I'm sorry. How many blends have you guys disapproved during the trial and error process, selecting the right one to use? I mean, how many times of blending and reblending do you usually go through?
Oh my God. Poof. There could be more than 60 to 70 concoctions that I just didn't like it. And we pass it around. Like, we'll make about 100 of every. Our tasting of Vitola is a Corona, a 5 inch by four, right by 38 in some cases, but mostly about 44. And that's what we smoke. We smoke that in the blend once we put it together, and it's got to go. At least 10 of us have to really like it before we elaborate more on the blend.
So you say that at least 10 of you like it. So from that point on, you'll tweak it some more, or that makes the final
Yeah.
blend.
No, no, no. It's got to be tweaked till we all like looking at each other and we're all jiggly. We're all giggly. Oh, this is it. This is it.
So that's a long process
Oh,
of
it takes us
selecting.
4 years. That's what I tell you. It's a 4 year process for us. That's why I'm amazed when I hear some people. I guess they don't know what they're talking about because some guys will come and yak and oh yeah, we're down. You know, that blending is not that you came down to my factory and I gave you blend number 143, and number 295, and then you said I want it more stronger, and I said, okay, well we could tweak that. That's not blending, guys. That's just ordering a hamburger without cheese and onions. Yeah, it's not the same thing. No, 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 no. It takes you got to sit down and work. Putting tobaccos. There's a difference between the tip of the leaf and the base of the leaf, and how you put that inside the cigar. Whether you put it inverted, upside down, you use the piece of it. All these little things mean something to the end, to the end, the end result. It's pretty windy out here today. I'm impressed. It's hot, but the wind, the sea breeze that comes over the mountains, because right behind if you could see me right, there's a mountain. That's the mountain that's behind me. That right behind that mountain is Puerto Plata, and there's a beach. That's the North Shore.
Nice.
So we get a beautiful sea breeze that comes right over, it's pretty damn good.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, we are technically coming up to the end of our hour right now, but I want to make sure. Is there anything that you want to make sure everybody knows about the brand, about you, that we might not have talked about just yet? Is there anything that they should definitely know?
And will we see you at PCA?
I will be at PCA with the BCA boutique pavilion. We're going to be there. One of the founders here. Definitely, I'm pro small batch companies for sure. We're definitely going to be there. We come see us. Come see everybody that's in my booth inside our pavilion. Everybody, all of us have been vetted. I just don't let anybody in. Uh, the group of us we meet, the board will meet, and we have to know that where your stuff comes from, that you're using quality tobaccos. I did not smoke all the brands, but the companies, like they have to say who makes it for them, and we vet the manufacturer, and even when they import, we have to make sure that we know who the importer is, because we don't like nothing to make us look bad,
Right.
because we're trying to make the BCA to be the next amazing thing in the world. And as we just slowly take over and take, just keep moving, because like I got, without going to BCA, like I already have like 17. Is it? Hold up. So ¿cuántos son? 17 countries have already come to us with contracts wanting us to send product to Europe. We got France, Italy, um, Holland, Turkey, Lebanon. All these people are anxious to bring in new products. So some bright horizons coming up. Uh, hey, if you see my stuff, don't be afraid of it. Check it out. You're more than likely you will be impressed. If you're a band whore, you're not gonna be happy, because waving GTO around is not gonna get you any love. People are not gonna be like, yo, what's up? That's not illegal. Whatever. No names here. I just prefer a smile and a good cigar, and I don't really care what the hell you're smoking. Take the band off. To me, if you're smoking and you're enjoying it, that was the purpose of all of our hard work. It's not that you have this band, that band, who you're with. Because, and I see more people getting behind companies that they don't even know who the damn owner is. Like you'll never have a meal with this guy. So what the hell is your biggest problem? Forget about wackos. You can reach out and touch me, man, because I come out. I come out and I feel people, and I listen to you. I talk to you. I want to experience your smoking endeavor. So check out people like that. Don't worry about these hot fashion idiots. That's crap. I drive a Honda. Look right behind me. This Honda Civic. You know why? Because it works. I
Yes,
already
sir.
had a bunch of all that German shit. No good, man. No good.
Real
But I
quick,
appreciate. Hey,
we have
yeah,
one
go ahead.
last question for you. Uh, and this is one I think we touched on earlier, but just to recap it, uh, Archie said he's never tried a GTO cigar, but if he's gonna pick one up, which one do you recommend to try first? If you
Okay.
want my opinion, I love the anesthesia. I think that's a great
Anesthesia.
one.
Yeah, I will go with the anesthesia, because there's a Corojo and a Maduro. Get both. Do the Corojo in the afternoon. Do the Maduro in the evening, or vice versa. Whatever, with a great libation, you'll see when a cigar doesn't take over your palate, you'll enjoy your drink. And you can taste both things that you're trying to have a great experience with. You can enjoy your libation, you can enjoy your cigar, because our cigars won't put a tinge in your mouth. You know, so that's what most guys that pay 40 to 50 bucks for a good cigar are expecting. And you can get this every day from between $8 and $12. That's where we're at. I don't have any middlemen, and I did that on purpose so that I can spread the love across this beautiful country, which I'm American. I'm a citizen of now. So super happy to be here, and I love you guys. You can tell everybody that we're family.
That's
Because
right.
you guys are Rodriguez's, and we will live long.
Amen.
I love it. I love it. All right, brother. We're gonna let you go for now, but we will see you in just a couple weeks now.
Yeah, PCA is
Yeah,
not too
we'll
far
see
away.
you over at the BCA Pavilion. Can't wait. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it for us, guys. Everyone out there, I hope you had a great time watching. Make sure to go check it out. The website is in the comments right now. I'll send it to you if you need it. GTO DominicanCigars.com. Yes.
Yes, thank
There
you.
we go. Check it out, guys. All right. And we will talk to you guys all Wednesday.
We'll
We'll be
see you guys
back.
Wednesday.
Y'all have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon.
See you
Okay.
guys.
Long ashes, long ashes.